Hi, I'm Pat and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to answer a question a lot of folks have been asking me. What kind of air filter should I be using in my BMW i8? If you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications, because I'm posting i8 content and you're not going to want to miss it. Well, today's question came from a bunch of subscribers. I really want to know what kind of air filter I should be using in the i8. Well, that's a great question because a lot of people want increased performance, but they don't think about how well the air filter is blocking debris from getting into the i8. In fact, after 10,000 miles, when I bought my i8, I popped the air filter out of it and I banged it against the floor and a whole bunch of debris came out. I wondered, what in the world is going on? I'd never owned a vehicle that had this much debris in an air filter. So I went to the forums, and there really wasn't a lot of information out there. I decided, you know what, rather than spend the money on another factory air filter, I'm going to spend the money for a K&N filter. That means that I get better performance and I'm able to clean it more often. Well, that was a mistake, and let me tell you a little bit more about that. One of my favorite channels on the internet, Project Farm, recently did a test and compared different air filters. He compared the difference between a K&N Performance Filter to several other filters, including the OEM one as well as some aftermarket ones. He did some really great scientific tests and then took his car out to do 0 to 60 runs to see what the performance was like. Well, he found that the K&N filter actually gave him the best performance, but it had the worst filtration. That bothered me a little bit, especially with the i8, because the intake to the i8 is very close to the road. That means that if there's any type of debris that's close to the road, whether it's dust, dirt, sand, pebbles, grass clippings, any of these things may actually make their way to the airbox in the BMW i8 and result in a filter having to do a lot more work than in a car where the engine's up front and the filtration unit is higher. So that means that we need to be very mindful of what kind of filter we're putting in the i8 and why we're putting it in there. So let's pop the top of the airbox off the i8. If you need to be able to see how to get to the airbox, I have several other videos out there. My oil change video especially shows you the process of how to remove the covers in order to access the engine to change the oil. Well, they're the same covers you got to remove in order to get to the airbox. So check those videos out, link in the description below. Let's get this airbox off the i8 and we'll take a look at this air filter. And all we're going to use is a flat blade screwdriver in order to undo this ring right here. That allows us to remove this duct. And once that duct is out of the way, we can use the same screwdriver to lift up on this plastic piece here. We squeeze that and pull straight out. That's for our mass airflow sensor. That's all we need to use as far as tools to get in here. So if we undo two of the clips, one there and one there, we can lift up and then out, making sure we don't impact this metal and this plastic because we'll scratch it up, and also making sure that we don't force it down and push it into the air filter. This exposes the top of the air filter. So I'm going to go ahead and just set this aside. So our next step is to go ahead and pick up on our K&N air filter, and it's pretty dirty. It's been seeing a lot of debris. I can actually see, might be hard to see it on camera, but there's actually debris stuck in there. Very interesting. So all that's now up inside these pleats, and it's going to require some work, I think, to get it out of there. Looks like little pieces of road debris. Not good. And our air filter, the bottom of this airbox, isn't that dirty. Originally, when I first had gotten the i8 and I had the original air filter in here without the Edo Motorsport side skirts, this was filled with debris. I mean, there was like sand and dust in there. It didn't look good at all. Now, the previous owner likely took it to the beach, and that's probably why it had what it had in it. But right now, all I'm seeing is a little film of dust in here. It's not too bad, but there is some debris in the K&N filter. So let me place a paper towel down here and see exactly what comes out of this thing. I'm curious. Yep, as I thought. A lot came out of this. I even see grass clippings in here. So I'm going to bring my other GoPro in here because it may be hard to see from the other camera, but you know, that's a lot of junk here. There's a bug, dead bug, some green grass clippings, you name it, it's in here. And the one thing I do worry about with the K&N filter is its ability to filter things. And some of this may actually be blocked by the filter that's in here because it's like a cotton filter. That's great, but that also means that my filtration is being interrupted by debris, and that's not a good thing. So even though this thing can be cleaned and put back in the car, it also holds a ton of debris, which I'm concerned about. And I just want to take a little bristle brush and see if I can get a little bit more out of this. So let me just get a fresh paper towel here and a bristle brush, and I'm just going to take and whoa, there's a lot in here that I didn't expect to see. So I put this filter in, I would say, when the car had about 15,000 miles on it. So this is 15,000 miles of debris. And I'm just giving it a nice brush. I'm not really cleaning it. I mean, look how dirty just the brush looks. This is a lot more debris than I've experienced in another air filter, even another K&N filter. And we'll get close up here with the other GoPro. It's definitely chunks of black stuff here. That's just bristles from the brush, but you know, I don't know what this is. This is a lot of junk. There's a lot of stuff in here, and I'm not exactly happy that this filter has taken in all this debris and not just left it sit in the air box. Because it's oily, it's going to continue to absorb this, and that bothers me. I just washed my hands and I'm ready to go because I don't want to get oil and grease all over the new filter that I'm going to put in the i8. It's the OEM filter by BMW Group. Link in the description below with the part number. I bought this from FCP Euro. It is 100% guaranteed. So when I buy a replacement and I decide to send this one back, they will refund me the cost that I originally paid for the original one. Don't believe me? See my link in the description below. I just sent back 4 liters of oil in a filter and they refunded the entire amount. So buy your stuff from FCP Euro. Let's take a look inside. And I'm greeted with the BMW logo here and lots of pleats. Not only that, but it's dry. So things aren't going to stick to it. Lots of pleats and a good amount of filtration surface means it's going to filter well and breathe well. Not only that, but because these pleats are so close together, large debris isn't going to get in this. It's going to stay inside the bottom of the air box and not actually stick to the filter. So this provides a lot of filtration, a lot of protection, and debris will not stick to it. And that is the reason why I'm going to replace my K&N filter with this OEM filter. Another reason why I'm going with this, Edo Motorsport recommended it. Because this has good filtration and good performance, it's the best filter that we could put in the i8, even better than the K&N filter. Yes, this might reduce the amount of noise coming from the turbo out, and well, there's ways of going around that. Link in the description below where I removed the flap, as well as modified the intake clean air pipe in order to hear that turbo noise. Yes, I'm still going to hear it with this filter. It's not going to mute it enough. I need to protect my i8 to make sure I don't get debris, dust, and dirt inside that turbo and potentially screw it up. So stick with the BMW OEM filter, my recommendation, and Edo Motorsport recommends it as well. So we have our brand new BMW air filter. Put that right here in the air box. Sits in there perfectly. Let's take a look at our air filter box. There's kind of a loop here on this side, and there's hooks down here on the other side of the air box. So we're going to feed this in until they hook, and then we could press down. So first thing, just going to be careful we don't hurt anything down here. Let me move this duct out of the way. And I'm going to try to feed this in here so that the little loops fit in the hooks. There we are. So that's in there secure, and then I could just press straight down. So I'm going to go ahead and lock the sides first. And that's just 2 clips. So that's it. The filter is secure. Now we can go ahead and attach our clean air pipe. And I know my arms are in the way, but this is the best I can do with such small area to place a camera. And then we're going to use our flathead screwdriver and just turn down on this screw in order to tighten the hose clamp. That's good. And then here's our mass airflow sensor connector. That snaps into place, and that snaps as well. So we've gone ahead and replaced the air filter, and everything looks good just from a visual inspection. Nothing seems out of place. All right, let's hop out of the car. So that wraps up today's video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. In order to get your car put back together, see the link in the description because I covered that in my oil change videos. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and click that bell for notifications, as I'll be posting more i8 content. Thanks for watching, and happy motoring.